Okay, for 78, it's asking which of these are functions. And remember, to be a function, for any x value that we put in, only one y value can come out, right? So if we look at a graph, and I take, for instance, let's look at A. If I take this point, this x value right there, I notice that this y value comes out and this y value comes out, right? So therefore, this is not a function. Another way that we can tell, and it's saying the same thing, is if I can place a vertical line, remember a vertical line goes up and down, right? If I can place that line on the graph and hit more than one point, then it's not a function, right? So if I take my vertical line and I place it, right here, for instance, then I hit the graph at this point, and I hit the graph at that point, and therefore it is not a function. So I would say no, and the reason is, the reason is that one x value produces more than one y value, right? And the case is the illustration I gave you. Now, for all the reasons when it's not a function, you can use that standard reply that a given x value produces more than one y value. Okay, so let's look at B. Now, look at the values of x they gave. Every x value is different. So we have no way of knowing, for instance, that -3 is going to produce 19 and -3 is going to produce something else. So if we only have each x value given once, we have to assume that it is a function, right? Because we can't show that any one of these x values actually produced more than one y value. Okay, so for C, we're going to look at x values that are the same, right? So 7 and 7. They're the only ones they gave us the same. And the first time we put a 7 in, a 10 came out. And the second time we put a 7 in, a 3 came out. That is not permitted. So we would use this same explanation here, but we could even be more specific. We could say, no, the x value of 7 produced a 10 and a 3. Okay, and the last one is graph D. This appears to be a typo in the book because this is the same graph as graph A. So the answer guide says it's a function. So I'm assuming that this function is drawn wrong in the electronic guide at the time that I used the electronic book. So for me, I'm going to say no, this is not a function, right? Because look, if I place a vertical line, same as the top, it hits there and here, right?